Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you, and Happy Mother's Day to all mothers who may be watching, whether you're a mother, stepmother, or mother of a fur baby. Happy Mother's Day to you. Anyway, today, in honor of being Mother's Day, I thought I would go through the 10 best, in my opinion, mothers in sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. This is not in any, they're not ranked in any degree, just, you know, like I said, in my opinion, the 10 best. First and foremost, we got Ellen Ripley. Seriously, Aliens approach spells it out. Yeah, she, admittedly, yes, it's after learning of the death of her own daughter that she ends up finding another daughter in the form of Rebecca Newt Jordan, and she does everything she can to protect that little girl. Which is why I say she definitely makes the cut. Next, Jean Grey from the X-Men comics. Note the comics, not the movies. At least not yet, at least. Anyway, so this is kind of a big one. So after the Phoenix Saga, Jean Grey was presumed to be dead. She was actually, in fact, in stasis in a cocoon in the Hudson Bay. That's one of the most normal things about the whole story. Anywho, while she was presumed dead, Scott Summers, Cyclops, her high school boyfriend, met this woman named Madeline Pryor, who looked just like Jean. Of course, she went crazy, mainly because Scott's kind of a douche. Sorry, but when you leave your wife and kid to go hang out with your high school girlfriend and your three best friends from high school, you kind of fall into the douche category. He's done good, but as a person, a bit of a douche. But that's not the focus of the video. Before that, however, him and Madeline had a child, Nathan Christopher Summers. Well, like I said, Madeline went crazy and attempted to sacrifice that child to demons. You know, as all mothers do at some point. But no, seriously, after she was at least temporarily killed, Scott took his child and raised Nathan for a little while, at least, alongside Jean, who raised Nathan as her own. And then, in fact, on their honeymoon, their minds were sent to the future, where Nathan was growing up, since he had been sent to the future to recover from a technovirus that would have killed him in the present. And as Red and Slim, they also raised Nathan. At least up to a point, before their minds were brought back to the present. Anyway, moving on. Molly Weasley. Now, to be perfectly honest, Molly would if I were doing this as ranked wise, Molly would probably be top of the list. Just because of how she treats Harry Potter. For all intents and purposes, Harry may as well be a member of the Weasley family. And she treats him as such. And and then there's how she is with her children as well. I mean, God, when Bellatrix Lestrange goes after Lily, goes after Ginny. Is there Ginny? Well, she becomes Mama Bear real quick. Next up on the list, Beru Lars. You might be wondering who Beru Lars is. and I can't entirely say I blame you. She was actually Luke Skywalker's aunt who raised him alongside his Uncle Owen. And she was his mother figure. You have to first figure that, one, she instilled quite a bit in him, and two, she understood Luke. And she understood that, the life of a farmer was not his life. There was too much of his father in him. Next up, we got Amanda Grayson. Again, you might ask, who is Amanda Grayson? Amanda Grayson is the mother of Spock. The human mother of Spock, I might add. This was a woman who, to raise her child, stayed, with a extraordinarily foreign race, I should say, yes. And while she did not hide emotion from them, still she had to, to a degree, raise Spock to. She did raise Spock in a somewhat human form, but at the same time, he did, she did not flinch from him embracing his Vulcan heritage. Anyways, moving on. Martha Kent. That's right, the mother of Superman. I don't care what version we're talking here, whether it be Golden Age, Silver Age, Modern Age, Bronze Age, Lois and Clark, the Dawn of Superman, whatever. She is definitely one of the all-time great sci-fi fantasy horror mothers. I mean, I might not think much of him as a fictional character, but I can't deny he's a paragon of good. And that's in part because of how he was raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent. Moving on, Dr. Beverly Crusher. Star Trek, Next Generation. This was a woman who actually managed to juggle her career and motherhood. And even realized that at a point when there was at a point that yes, maybe letting her shipmates raise her son was for the best for his development. Hence, when she went to Starfleet Medical for a year. She also understood when he became a higher being that's what he was. Of course, she didn't like it. It's her son, but she understood that was the right thing for him. Next up, Lady Jessica from Dune. Now, Lady Jessica had raised two different children in the Dune series, Paul and Anya, and his sister. Anyway, very different characters. But she raised each of them, made sacrifices for them, and even going so far as being willing to die for either of them. She didn't have to, but the willingness was there. She was also willing to kill for either of them. In the end, she would end up protecting both at various points in their life from quite a few threats. Next up, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. I know what you're thinking. Cersei Lannister is an evil, manipulative bitch. You know what? You're right. She is. She is probably one of the most evil, closest to a truly evil character on the show and in the books. But all that said, she does love her children, truly. Even that vile little monster she produced, Joffrey. She didn't love him because he was the prince. She loved him because he was her child. And she would and did anything she could to protect him. To protect him and to protect Tommen as well as Marcella. And yet, she especially later on, she has had some failures. But overall, she is one of the better mothers inside that there is. And finally, the alien queen from, well, Aliens. She also, when an intruder into her hive incinerates her eggs, her children, she at least tries to get her revenge. She might not have truly pulled it off, but she gave it the good old try. Anywho, that's all I got for today. Probably back hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what we can come up. We got. As always, feel free to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook. Links to Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. And I seriously cannot believe I forgot the name of Paul's sister. I'm going to be kicking myself for that probably for the next week or so. Anyways, Rock and Roll Spock signing off. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Live long and rock hard.